So I path out, take the Hextech Gate, and I walk. Okay, so here, I actually didn't initially go towards bot, and the reason was that they had too much control around here. So when you go to the side lane, ideally you want like a bit of control around, and we were playing for drag, so I thought they'd all be here. If I walked all the way to the side lane here, I'd probably get ganked, so I decided not to. A good way to get control before you go to the side lane is just to group with your team, which is what I did here. And because Zeri recalled, I actually went mid. So this was... Oh, no, I didn't go mid. Okay, so yeah, actually, Zeri was going to be here in time, so I went bot. That's right. Okay, so now I'm into the side lane. I'm in bot wave. We're getting dragged. So because I know that Evelyn's top, there's no threat onto me bot, which means I can push as far as I want, right? Like, there's no threat on me whatsoever. I come in DPS to drag. I go back to bot. Yo, thanks for the bits, JJ. Much appreciated. Here, right? Remember, no threat to me, even though Hecarim's on the other side of the map. So most of the time, you probably wouldn't want to do this. But I have pretty decent vision, and I also have my bot lane nearby, and Evelyn doesn't have ult. So I feel comfortable pushing as far as I can safely, which is probably up to the tower. It's about here. Am I safe hitting the tower? I'd say probably not, so I walk back a bit. Now, I try and sync up with Hecarim, right? Mid-jungle's a duo, you want to play together, just because it makes all your plays go better, right? Like, if you invade with your jungler, it'll be like 2v1. It's kind of like this, right? Because Hecarim and I are together, it ends up just being a really easy play. Whereas, like, neither of us could do this 1v1. But because we're playing as a mid-jungle duo, or, like, we weren't duo queue, but because we're playing together, basically, we're able to do that. Here, I didn't have, like, a ton of mana, so I was, like, thinking I want a recall. But here's the thing. Whenever you push a wave all the way under the tower, you have a lot of choices, right? So your choices are, when you get this wave here, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can hit this tower. It's not normally the best to hit this tower because it takes a lot of time, and you don't actually get the payoff until you fully kill the tower, right? Like, it's just chunking the tower. It's like sort of low pressure. Normally it's like, if I can do something else, I will. Other options are I could base, I could come top, or I could make a play mid. But the important thing is, because you push the wave all the way under tower, you're not going to lose anything. No matter what, this wave will always push back to you. So whatever you do, you're not going to lose anything. Like, if we actually just ignore the mid play for the moment, just watch the bot wave. Like, this will crash, and eventually, it's just going to, like, this wave, it's going to build up and push back out. So eventually, I'll be able to go and collect it. But, because I have a lot of priority off bot, I'm able to come mid. This guy had E, so I don't know why he didn't dodge that, but... Anyway, yeah, I come mid, I get a free kill, and then I decide to recall. Okay, so pretty simple. Once again, pathing out of base. Where do I go? So my options here is like, well, the 3 lanes, I could go top, mid, or bot. Probably can't go top. Volibear's already here, not going to get any CS. Kind of just a waste of time, right? Could I go mid? Sure, I could go mid, but I think Zeri kind of has that covered. And do I need to go mid before going bot? I would say no. Like, I have a lot of vision in this bot side jungle, right? Full control. Don't really need any extra safety from my team, so I'm just gonna path out bot. I can kind of be as greedy as possible here. Now, okay, so the reason I ended up swapping here is because Volibear based and pinged he was going bot. If Volibear stayed top, I would stay bot. Because Volibear wants to go bot, I'm gonna go top. Okay, now here was kind of the scary part of the game. This was like probably the scariest moment of the game for me. Why is it scary? Because all my vision is bot side, my jungler is bot side, like basically everything that's safe about the map is bot side. And even worse, I see Evelyn pathing top side, right? So this is like, I'm playing a squishy immobile mage in a side lane with no vision and no jungle help. So this is like, you have to, if this situation happens in your game, you can greed and get the wave like I did, but honestly, the most important thing here is do not die. Like, no matter what, do not die, because you give over so much gold, you potentially give them a Baron if it's up, and you just, like, completely f*** the game. And if this happens to you guys and you blame the jungler, you're stupid. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, this, you have to adapt to what the jungler is doing. Maybe the jungler should be here, right? Like, maybe he should. Maybe I should be bot instead of volley, but you adapt to what's happening in the game. You don't just, like, blame your teammates because you can't adapt. So, okay, pushing top. Here, I was like thinking, okay, I want to get this wave ASAP and get out. I kind of knew that Evelyn wouldn't be here yet, but what I didn't think about was the fact that Renekton would be so close. I think he took the Hextech gate. Let's actually just check. I'm assuming, yeah, okay, so Renekton covered a ton of extra distance because he took the gate. So he was here a lot earlier than I expected, which was definitely, like, sort of annoying. Ultimately, this sort of, it was okay. Like, most importantly, I didn't die. And I did trade all sums. I would say this is slightly better for him because playing a no-sums Mage is much worse than playing like a no-sums Renekton. But most importantly, I still got the wave and I still died, right? Or sorry, I still lived. I did not die. Okay, come to base. Pause once again. All right, what's the play here? Could go top, except it's extremely risky. Once again, no vision. I have the jungler on my side, but because I have no sums, Evelyn can honestly kill me before Hecarim can show up. So instead, what I do is I actually just try and group with the team. So it would be nice, like if I could, I'd love to push this wave, but I just can't. It's just too greedy. I just can't. So I'm going to come group with the team. We do Baron. Evelyn tries to come stop it. This kind of has nothing to do with sidelaning, so we end up just picking this up. That's kind of clean. Okay. And then I decide that I'm going to quickly come fix this wave, because again, I know Evelyn's dead, right? So I have a quick little bit of time where I know I'm not threatened on the side lane because Evelyn's dead. I'll just come up here, clear out the wave, no problem at all, reset. Okay, what's the play from here? So this can be a situation where it's kind of hard to tell what to do, because top wave is really far away, bot wave has no vision whatsoever, and in this situation, normally you just want to do the safest thing. So most of the game, right, you want to be really, really efficient. You want to like try and pick up as much farm as you can. You want to like spread out as much as possible, like not share the gold XP, all that sort of shit, right? But when you have Baron, that's like the one part of the game where you can actually be inefficient and just kind of group. Now, the reason, like what I would normally do here is I'd group with my team and then I'd like regain control and then I'd go to the side lane. But I thought I could be greedier here, and the reason was, I had my jungler right next to me, and their jungler was still dead. If their jungler was alive, definitely don't do this. If their jungler is alive, you should path mid, regain control, get vision of bot river, then you can side lane. But here, okay, I'm kind of skipping steps because I know I have like a little less threat on me because their jungler's dead, and I have my jungler next to me. So I come out bot, quickly make this play on Renekton, we get the kill, awesome. And now here, because I have Hecarim shadowing me, I'm again free to push this wave. This is really scary if your jungler's not here. Again, all the vision is topside. And I have no sums. So it's really scary, right? But the jungler's right next to me, and I think he can be here before Evelyn can kill me. So I decide, okay, as long as I'm right next to Hecarim, should be no problem, right? Always thinking, mid-jungle doer, mid-jungle doer, mid-jungle doer. Like, that's got to be in your head at all times. And here, when I notice Hecarim backing off, I back off as well, right? I walk away. Now this, I would say, is kind of just our team inting. They're playing 2 aggro while we're doing dragon. Like, we kind of said that before. If you're making a play on the other side of the map while your team is making a play on, the other side of the map, that's really bad. So Volibear dying, unnecessary, I'd say. And here, I just grouped mid. So there's no bot wave to farm, so it's really easy. I can just group, play for team fight. Pretty simple. Nothing else really to it, right? Just come group. And like I said, if there's a time to group, it's with Baron. Like, you don't need to be... Normally you want to play 2 waves with Baron, but as long as you can be kind of like grouped with your team with Baron, at least at some point, that's pretty important, just so that you guys can really use your pressure. I play with Akali on mid and late game. Pretty much the same. Like, you're just looking to push side lanes, get flanks in team fights. Yeah, getting flanks in team fights is probably the most important thing. Okay, and then I think from this point, the game was like pretty much over. There's not really any side laning. I guess I'll talk about why I didn't go top here. So, we still have like a little bit of Baron. I think it's about to expire, but I could go top. But the problem is I don't have TP. So if you don't have TP, it's really hard to go to the complete other side of the map, because you will just end up losing like too much for it, basically, right? If I go top and a fight breaks out bot, there's no way I can be there in time. Also, it just takes me so long to get here. Like, look how far away this is. It's like literally across the entire map. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just ignore this and group with my team. I do have sums here, so I could maybe go top, but it's just like sort of not necessary, right? Like, I don't really need more farm at this point, and I also think it's just kind of a waste of time. Maybe if I had TP, I'd go to this, but there's also maybe an argument that if I go to the side lane with TP, I might just die to Renekton, so I'm not really that enthusiastic about going to that. But you can see, like, despite the fact that I've given up some side waves, still 220 at 24, because I've taken the time to kind of make sure I'm side laning at the right points of the game, basically. And then clear this all out, and then I think we just ended on this, right? Yeah, we just killed them. Why would the enemy mid laner be side laning if their junglers are near with them? As you said, don't be unless junglers near, so it's kind of 2v2 if they're playing sensibly. Well, it's like, a lot of the, like, they don't just want to give up waves, right? Like, imagine this, this tower is up. they're not just going to let waves die under tower. Like, even if your jungler's not there, you still have to come farm waves, at least when it's here. Like, you probably won't feel comfortable pushing all the way up to here if you don't have your jungler, but you still want to farm at the tower. Like, you definitely don't want to just give up waves for free, because, like, waves are just too important. So, and that's actually another thing, right? Is, like, if you have priority on the side lane, it actually makes it much harder for the jungler to enter that side, which kind of, like, further increases, like, your strength on the side lane. It all kind of, like, flows together, I suppose.